Alright. On a good streak, so let's go ahead and find something else to return to. Ah, the Lost Vikings. Let's go ahead and, yeah, go beat another game. Okay. We are returning to the Lost Vikings. And I need to remember where I need to go first. We are up to the final area now, the space stages. And, yeah, they are basically, well, goddamn ridiculous, in short. I think what we want to do is that. Blow that up, then hit further down. Yep, blue key it up. Alright, and I'm gonna go down first. I think we want to go down first, yes. I'm gonna be sending Eric off to the right shortly. Nice. Okay, we need Baleog right there for now. Send Olaf down here. Which no, I don't need another bomb for. We're on the right track. Also, the Game Boy Advance actually does have, all of the good music from this game. It's ever so slightly worse in quality, but, like, not by much at all. And, it's, like, 40, or 30 or 40 seconds. No, not even that much, like, 10 to 25 seconds shorter for the loops here in the, Game Boy Advance than it is in the, well, Super NES and Genesis versions. Although, obviously, me being me, I greatly prefer the Super NES renditions of this music. Okay, so let's send him there. And I could have sworn it was jumping left, but apparently it's jumping right. Okay. Also, it is a little bit more annoying to do things in this, because you have to hold R and hit either A or B to use items or hit switches or do other stuff, but other than that, it is a perfectly serviceable, you know, port of this game. Oops. Alright. Let's not try the exact same thing twice, or 3 times. Well, give me credit, I didn't do the exact same thing. Just, very, very nearly the exact same thing. Right, let's get Olaf down here further. Also, this is devious. They give you a bunch of health items, and if you go around grabbing them all, you will not be able to grab the key that you need. And you won't be able to go back up and get it. And you likely won't be able to, like, even if you could go back up and get it, you would not be able to, you know, manage to use up the food that you had grabbed. Because everything in this stage, save for that one enemy that we face, is an instant kill laser. Wait, what? Oh, I thought that graphic there was another item. It is not. Good to know. Alright, so... now we can send Eric right up here. Grab us the blue key. And now we have to get all the Vikings across this little jump here. Save Baleog for last. So I don't know what the smart bomb was actually needed for. The smart bomb was guarded by the only enemy in the stage. So, yeah. Kaboom. Okay. Let's see. And I immediately wanted to jump and bust that up, but that's not a thing you can do until the second game. Which, again, I seriously need to show the, Lost Vikings PlayStation game, because it is so goddamn ridiculous. Oh, hey, cool. That actually worked from there. Okay, can stand there just for a minute. And that, of course, is the annoying thing. If you go to use an item but sort of don't, you'll just end up switching characters instead. Alright, so... now let's get Olaf up there. Basically every single one of these stages in the second space area is flat out ridiculous, so, you know, just be prepared for that, basically. We want to set Olaf right there. Baleog hits that, teleports this way, Olaf heads down carefully. More carefully than that. Grab us a key. Grab us a not getting hit by a laser. And bink goes that. Alright. Next up, Eric heads out. Boom ba boom ba boom. Let's see. I do believe there is a computer right here. Again with the boom ba boom ba boom. Now, one thing the Game Boy Advance does not have over the Super NES version, or compared to, I should say, is good sound effects. This alarm sound is so wrong. Actually... what? Oh. Oops. Let's not change characters right at that moment. Whoa. Careful. Sort of have to use the head bob of bouncing off the ceiling to make it around in here. And again, super careful. Just like that. Oh yeah. Let's see. Oh. That didn't take long to find. About to say, one setting of these three will deactivate all of them. But we literally just had to flip 2 switches and bam, there we go. And we could totally try and kill these things, or we can just sort of walk with them so they don't actually see us, and then just walk right past. And it all works out amazingly well. We kind of already are captured, so, you know. I mean, we could be more captured, we could be in, like, a jail cell or something. But, yeah. We're on his ship, so we're very much captured at the moment. And this is where the scorpion pain comes in. This stage loves scorpions. Alright, I'm gonna go up here. Might want to send Baleog, but nah, screw it. Nifty, nifty, and there we go, there's that, and... There we go, there's the exit. The arena wasn't so tough after all. Dot, dot, dot. Helps to actually be paying attention. There we go. So yeah, too easy. We get teleported to another part of the stage. And I think there are either 3 or 4 segments in this stage, so... Ah, okay, let's get the game volume raised up a bit then. One moment. That should do it. Yeah, the previous game was super loud, even at a very low volume. So, you know, this game, which we actually want to be louder, wasn't for a while. Grab up all of the keys and all the health items too. Because I know I'm gonna do that multiple times. Really would like to get a smart bomb, but you know. Okay, full health again. Totally do this. Wow. Totally did it without the help of anybody else. That's interesting. And for the most part, we can do exactly the same with the others. Just sort of, go for a headlong rush and occasionally dodge to the side. Sort of abuse randomness here and there. And with Olaf, it'll be even easier because shield. Don't need to worry about all the stuff coming from above. Just sort of need to worry about the stuff that will be directly in contact with us, like appearing on us, like that. Yeah, that's also a worry. If you die, you start the entire arena over again. So be amazingly careful around the lasers. I mean, that should just kind of go without saying for any laser anywhere, in any game or in real life, but yeah, no. Also, the ballroom, as I recall, is full of balls that bounce themselves. Everybody's favorite enemy, so, you know. All we need is that Egyptian guard, and we'll have all of the worst enemies in the game in one place. Alright, so... once again, time for Eric to go around and do all of the things. Carefully. Super, super carefully. You want to... if you hit left or right, you just immediately fall off of the ladder. So you have to be extra careful to jump and then hold a direction. Which is kind of weird for a lot of games like this. Usually you can hold a direction and then jump and be just fine. So did I mention the lasers? This stage friggin' loves lasers. So there's a bomb I missed somewhere, and that's not good. Oh, no, never mind. Olaf has it. So, Eric, enjoy, bumping your head on the ceiling for a while. That was not the sound of somebody bumping their head on the ceiling, that was the sound of somebody being fried with lasers, so you can just stand there instead. There we go. So I'm totally sending it back to Eric. And cut that out, Olaf. Alright, so, gotta get that deactivated. Let's get Baleog up here. Go ahead and shoot the button. See what that gets us. Herp-a-derp. Not quite what I thought, but okay. There we go. Alright. Yeah, secret ladders. Like I said, worst enemy in the game. More secret ladders. These ones are especially so because even with Olaf, they can bounce over the shield and still hurt him. And I think this might be the actual real exit. Hey! Sweet. Alright, I think this might be... I think this might be the final stage, guys. Grab some bombs. Yeah, this is it. This is the final stage. It's time to bomb the hell out of Tomator. Carefully. Because, again, we are not going to get that much in the way of health restoration in this stage. So just show it off. Falls down into the lasers and teleports away, leaving behind the yellow key. Oh, no. Don't want to accidentally use the bomb. Okay, so... Now these two over here have a way open that is activated by Tomator being defeated by Olaf, and they have to take care of a Tomator of their own over here. Also... Oh wait, no, never mind. Different spot. Actually, different game, never mind. In one of the Lost Vikings II spots, there is one of these things where if you are standing on it on the bottom, it will go into the laser. You have to only be standing on it, going one direction. Oh, right. So... Oh, this is gonna be tricky. Again, things made more difficult by nature of the fact that you don't have a single button, and instead have a button combination for that. Send him through quicker. Oh jeez. There. Alright, so... This section can be done with Beliog alone, so that's a good thing. We shall definitely attempt it. Although admittedly I should have given Beliog some of the health items, but that's okay. Oh. I was about to say, what the heck am I doing? I need to reactivate the switch to make the ground reappear over there. Well, not ground. Floor. But then, you know, it happened to work out. And this is totally a thing that he can manage. Awesome. Beliog, however, is not that quick, so... Gotta do that. Alright. Transfer. There. Okay. Thank you. Now, use that immediately. Okay. Now they should be back together. Yep. Get all of them together. Oh yeah. Eric's turn! So basically, we just sort of have to dodge for a little bit, up until such point that we can do that. Then he switches sides, and we can't get in. I don't think we can get in. No, we cannot get in before... Hey! We can totally get in with save state timing before the laser activates, and we're fried. So that kind of makes that section a joke. Thank you, save states. Oops. that. I just want to check one thing real quick. Is there actually anything above there? I don't think so. So I'll just transfer that over. There. Oh, well then good. Now let's see what we can bomb, or if this bomb is actually just a complete extra we don't actually need, which I get the feeling it is. I have mere completely full on items, so let's send it over to Eric. We will need all 3 Vikings for this here final section, going against Tomator. Just need to remember... Okay, yes, I got it. First off, take off the shield, so he's not floating his way down, which is not actually a thing you can do. Okay, second. You can do this with anyone, but it works best with Eric. Do that. That. And we hit him with a fire arrow and it dissipates the laser. And there he goes! And I almost... It's a good thing I didn't have, you know, 1 fewer health there. Olaf, if you would be so kind. Now then. Pretty sure we are going to, what, send Baliog. Actually, let's send Olaf so he can shield. And again, he can still do his bomb attacks. And get up over the shield and hit anyone in the head, so... It's not a perfect system, but it's... mostly works. It's silly, because we don't have Eric up here yet to take advantage of the lack of a laser shield. But, here we go. Oh, that's annoying. And we flip it a switch. And away he goes. But nothing else in the, I can't even call that an airlock. Nothing else in the room gets blown out into space. Just Tomator. So that's nice. Hee. And one last trip through the time vortex. And we're back home! Yay! And I'm not at all certain if... okay. Wasn't sure if the text was going to auto-progress or not. And we get... the awesome ending. Guitars! And Olaf does a dance. But he also has drums. I think Spiffy will be sad that he missed this ending, but it'll be on YouTube soon. With, like 5 asterisks next to, soon, meaning like 6-ish months from now, maybe? I don't know how big my backlog is at the moment. It's, pretty hefty, though. So I like how Olaf is not actually using drumsticks. Banging on the drums with his fists. I have not been paying attention to the credits. I don't think it's been looping. It's just the enemies are looping, but the actual credits themselves still very slowly going by. I think, this song is really good, but the Game Boy Advance loop that makes it shorter is not a good thing at all, and the actual SNES song is already too short for these credits and loops way too many times. So, you know. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Like, at all. There we go. So yes, this has been The Lost Vikings. Of the three versions, I gotta say the SNES version wins, hands down. And, I would actually put this... I honestly don't know if I would put this version or the Genesis version in second. I mean, the SNES version uses all of the buttons, and it works perfectly. And neither this version nor the Genesis version have enough buttons to do all the things. And so you get these janky button combinations. So, this version wins on music, at least. Even with the shorter loops, this version's music is way better than the Genesis version's. But, yeah, definitely recommend this. Highly recommend Lost Vikings II, which I believe was, I don't think that was on Genesis. I know it's not on Game Boy Advance. It is on PlayStation, but that version is so hilariously bad. It's only worth checking out for, you know, reasons of hilarity and laughter. And it looks like that same PlayStation version is also on the PC and the Saturn, with the exact same, just hilariously bad graphics and voice work and everything. It's still the same game, essentially, it just looks so bad. I don't know, the Genesis version might have allowed the 6-button controller. I'm not actually certain about that. Have to look into that. But, yeah. Highly recommend Lost Vikings and Lost Vikings II on the Super NES, so definitely go play those. Hope everybody has enjoyed this. I absolutely love this game, so I had a blast playing through. And I will see everybody in the next game.